I thought I was about to do it. That's weird. I think I'm live already. Whatever. What's up? What's up? Let me get all this together. Actually, streaming. Just doing live here. Going to be talking about a couple of things, comic book news, whatever. Just kind of spinning blocks, talking about some things I got coming up, some stuff I want to do. If you guys see this, whoever this is, hop in, holler at me. I would love to talk to whoever. So yeah, uh, get at me. I guess you could say, right? Anyway, so we talk about some Batman stuff, some Superman stuff. Why I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan. A couple of other streamers or online people not to have issues with, but also this. I have a video coming up in a couple of days. I'm gonna be doing. It's gonna be James Gunn based. It's gonna be a short video, but it's gonna be a video nonetheless. Because the one thing, if you request a video from me, I will do it. And this was requested. This actually my first requested video I'm gonna be doing in relation to James Gunn. I don't. If you ask me if it's appropriate, I'll knock it out and I do. You know what I'm saying? So, give me 1 second here, trying to get the the title of this up on the stage pretty quickly here, actually. So, but whoever is here, or when you do come in here, I appreciate you. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to build up this channel. I just started this channel like a couple of weeks ago, actually. So I'm actually gonna put a short out of all my videos, all my stuff to show like I'm not new to this, but I'm new to this. You know what I mean? So we'll see what it is. But yeah. So we get ready to hop into a couple of things, and appreciate anybody that joins. If I'm gonna try and see you live, if not, appreciate you 1,000%. Give me 1 second to get this title in, then we're gonna hop right into it. Okay. So make sure that this shows here. Cause I like to have my little ticker showing. Makes it look a little bit better. All right. So first thing I want to talk about, and hopefully this will kind of get us going into, kind of help with the vibe of things. 1 second here. Where's that at? There we go. Thank you for y'all's patience. I'm a little bit slightly new to streaming, but we're going to get it rocking. So, all right. So the first thing I want to talk about was this. As you can see here, right? So, as everybody knows, there was a whole not uproar, but with the whole WB, DC going to Netflix or going to Paramount, all this other stuff. In the midst of that, we had the whole, Snyderverse, all that. That doesn't simmer down because don't nobody necessarily knows what's going on. It's with Netflix now. Paramount's still doing their bids, whatever, but all the Snyder bros are going crazy about that, which is fine. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But all the DC Superman news has died down. You know what I mean? But this isn't the Brave and the Bold, which is the James Gunn DCU Batman that we have coming up, and they did announce at least the Brainiac for that universe. We don't know who's going to be Batman. They had alluded to it, which I'll pull that up actually here in a second. But the newest news talking about is Sebastian Stan going into the Batman 2, which I think this is very interesting for a couple of reasons. So, looking forward to the Batman 2. I liked the Batman. I'm not going to say I really liked the Batman because that would be a lie. You know what I mean? It was really good. I liked aspects of Robert Pattinson as Batman. I really like Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle. I really like that, or Catwoman. Um, love he played Penguin. I forget his name. Colin Farrell. Love Colin Farrell as Penguin. And Paul Dano, as Riddler. But that was great. And I like how they're getting some quality actors and everything. Also, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. I love Jeffrey Wright in general. But anyways, off of that. So on to this. Sebastian Stan is in negotiations to star opposite of Robert Pattinson in the Batman 2, Part 2. Who will he play? That was going to be really interesting because we're not even fully aware of who the villain necessarily is. They're saying it could be Hush. Um, you know, uh, Mr. Freeze is an option, which I would like to see that spin on Mr. Freeze. I think that would be really, really cool. Depending on how they did it, with this whole realistic vibe. Because I mean, look at how they did the Riddler. Mr. Freeze could be some kind of weirdo who was running around with like a ice cream truck doing stuff and whatnot. It can be done in a very interesting way, I think, right? So, what we have going on there. But who could he someone of his caliber play? He as we know he's the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, and whatnot. I'm not sure. Are they going to go into the Court of Owls? Ooh, I know they have a script and whatnot. They haven't released certain things. I did see that they said that the actor that was playing his rendition of the Joker is going to be coming back. Um, what's his name? Cohen, something Cohen, which that could be interesting. Um, I don't want them to cram too many people into that. You know, um, I think that could be a mistake. Possibly. Um, one second here. Just pulled it up here. But the actor who played, I want the Joker being who the Joker is. I wanted him to get his chance to kind of, and I think he could be good in the role. Um, he was in Eternals. What's his name? Cohen something Koenig uh, in this universe. Whatever. You guys can see the little thing here. You know who it is. Decent actor. I think he'll be good in it. I would like to see what he can do with the role. And him and Sebastian Stan. The only problem is like, are we even going to get a Batman 3? The Batman 3, from Matt Reeves. Look how long it's taking us to get this. There's all this, ambiguity going on with this elsewhere version of the DCU, which is it's not in flux. The Snyder Bros are putting it there because they just wanted to falter or whatnot. But DC as a whole, we don't have literally in the DCU. All we have is Superman, and we have a Supergirl, and a couple of villains essentially, and some ancillary superheroes. And then in this Elseworld, you could say we just have the Batman. And we have this Joker type. It's everything is so in the air right now. It's kind of unfortunate, because end of the day, you want these things to be able to grow and move on, and all this just these issues with DC to hell with right now. Even going, prior to this when it was the DCEU, we had that for a number of years, and it faltered. And even though the Snyder Bros don't want to say it, yes, your man failed. He did not achieve the goal as it was needed to be. He did not accomplish, and he had such a palette to be able to go that he effed it up. I don't care what you say. So that's the problem there. And now it's like, okay, so where's it going to go now? What are you going to do now? And James Gunn is doing this, and he's trying to build it up whilst it's also being torn down at the same time. No matter what anybody says, right now, him trying to build this universe is actively being torn down by the Snyder Bros. Which that's fine. Everybody has their own preferences, and that's to each their own, I guess, if you want to take it that way. But um, Matt Reeves is not going to grow this universe out. He's just not. He's it's we're gonna probably get this, and if anything, maybe we get another director to take over from there. But we know Matt Reeves can do great as he did with the Planet of the Apes, series that he did and things. So have faith in him. Getting Sebastian Stan, that's great. He had Paul Dano, and he has good actors. So maybe this could turn into something. Maybe Colin Farrell's Penguin could play a bigger role. Who knows? It would be great. I guess we'll find out as time goes on. Um, but I'm not expecting to go past this, but I'm expecting a really good movie. Hopefully, we shall see. But whatever. you know. So outside of that, so now we got outside of that news, let's talk about this Doomsday. We got the runtime for Doomsday, right? So 1 second here. Now this to me is, I don't think it's a bad thing. But I'm trying to pull up this article here, so bear with me. 1 second here. Yeah. Where's it at? So they're saying, once I pull this article up, so I'm not just here talking over dead space whatnot. They're saying the runtime for this movie is going to be 3 hours and 45 minutes. That is very long. I don't even know how that would work. To be honest with you, without an intermission, are we going to get an intermission, for this? I mean, is it just me, or does that seem like a very, a very long situation, for us to have? And it has officially come out, I believe, that it is going to be 3 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know about you, but that's a long time to sit in the theater and watch a movie, and to be able to grasp the attention for that time frame. We don't even know what we're gonna get. Let's just take it like this. So the people who feel, and I am one of them. Let me clarify something, because I put up a short a few days ago speaking about, and this was mainly the main person. There's a lot of people that feel like everything is woke, right? Anything that has a woman as a main person, a forefront person to a certain extent, if they're not somebody that has been ingratiated in the, saying the mythos at a certain point, it's always a problem, right? But the main person I had an issue with this, and I don't have nothing against him specifically, but was Tyrone Magnus, right? So Tyrone Magnus was, anytime he was like, this is woke, this is woke, this is woke. Funny thing, I want to point this out. Actually, I'll point this out there, but Tyrone Magnus was everything is woke, right? So, but speaking about it being the wokeness, will people accept a 3 hour and 45 minute movie with what Marvel has been doing recently, right? But there are people that do have problems with it, the wokeness and certain things, and that's fine. I've had a problem with it too, to a certain extent. I still think it's needed to maybe just a lesser or more. The application of it needs to be better. That's the best way to put it. The application of it makes it too front facing to where it causes issues for people, and that's the way to put it. If you have a movie where you're trying to have certain representation, if you don't know how to apply it, you can't have people sitting in the theater for 3 hours and 45 minutes with that bad storytelling, if that's the case. Because let's be honest, Marvel has fallen down that route. I think it's because they went more into telling a story than action. The reason why I say that is because they had to build up to Infinity War, right? They had to build to Endgame. There's a lot of stuff in between it. That's a very long time, right? So they're able to build that story in portions. Now they're going to go into Doomsday right away and try to tell this story. I don't necessarily know that it's going to. I'm hoping that the Russo brothers can do that. Do I have faith in them that they can? Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the whole build up there. But they did do the Winter Soldier. They did other stuff also. So I do have faith in them to be able to take it to that point to kind of push stuff at that level. But not sure. And again, a lot of Marvel's products as of recently have not been up to par. They just haven't been up to par. So, you can't really doubt somebody for not really buying into it right away. Yes, it's great that we got Steve Rogers back. It's great that we got Thor back. I'm not a big Thor fan, but whatever. It's great that we have the X-Men, which is going to be the selling point. And so far, from what we see with Scott Summers, Cyclops, and things, we're going to have those things kind of it looks like they're giving a fair representation of that, or at least giving these people their moment. We're going to get the 35th death of Professor X, probably, things of that nature. So there are some things that they have to go off of there. But I just don't know if like 3 hours and 45 minutes for one movie. Ooh, that's a lot, and that's going to cut into their theater time and sales times also. Unless they have theaters that just, if they got 10 theaters, 9 of them are going to be, showing the Avengers. That's going to cut into the sales, is what I'm saying, essentially. So we'll see, but I just think that is a long time. Do I want to see a movie? Yes. Do I want to sit in the theater and see anything for 3 hours and 45 minutes straight? Not sure, but I mean, we're all gonna go and see this, so it is what it is, and that's cool. That's fine, whatever. I guess But what do you think about that? I think it'll be cool to see what'll happen. And honestly, I don't really care about the sales for stuff. I want good quality story. Look, if you can sit through Scarface, which is a classic, great movie, but let's not act like that movie's not dry and long, then something like this is going to have big, action points and stuff. To do the same thing, So, but whilst we're at Marvel, right, there's something I wanted to actually bring up and speak about. So since we're going into Doomsday, right? 1 second here. So we know pretty much we're going to be getting a Black Panther coming up, right? I mean, I think this is pretty much a known thing, right? It's been, they need to do it. What version of them we're getting, we don't know. And the fact of the matter is, the most noted person that they're saying to play him is supposed to be Damson Idris, who you can see right here. Which honestly, I think that is perfect casting. I don't know if anybody's seen Snowfall. Great. If you've seen F1, he did a really good job opposite of Brad Pitt, which again, now he's getting that notoriety. He's doing, bigger movies. I think he's a perfect fit, and I like to see that over anybody else, right? So, but the thing is, like, is he going to be playing T'Challa? Is he going to be playing Toussaint? I think I spoke about this briefly for a moment before. I think he's the only person of notoriety to be able to pull that off currently, right? So that's another thing we got to look forward to in Doomsday, which I'm all for that. I'm a Damson fan. I like, he's a younger actor, primarily kind of new to the game in a way, especially as far as like the big stage. And he's a really good actor. I want to see what he can do. So I'm looking forward to that. But also, the reason I bring that up is because one of the other things that was actually just announced today is that they have actually finally canceled, which I wish they would have did this a long time ago, but it looks as though just as of today that they have announced that they have gone ahead and canceled that Mahershala Ali Blade. So it looks like this is Dunski's, which, okay, cool. Like, here's the whole thing about that. I would have loved to have seen Mahershala Ali play Blade. If they could have gotten it together when they first announced it, and within a couple of years got it moving, great. It's been umpteen years. Mahershala Ali is not a young actor. Like, and this kind of goes to the same thing that I'm saying to these Snyder Bros about Henry Cavill and Superman. Do we want one Mahershala Ali Blade movie, and then they got to find a new one because he's too old, or people go crazy because it's like, okay, they're gonna find a way to keep Blade going with him, so like they bring in like his daughter, and have her be the Blade, and then he's like, and then that's gonna be woke because no, it has to be like, you can't do that. That's why David Cornsweet as Superman is good, because he's younger. At the end of the day, it sucks that this happened, but it is what it is. Go ahead, find a new actor to play the role. Maybe somebody like, if we're getting Damson Idris as Black Panther, and he's a little bit more established. Go with a no name. Bring a no name into the Marvel universe and let them build their profile through that. You know, it's not really a position where you can get like a Wesley Snipes like we had, or they may have canceled it because maybe they're going to get Wesley to come in and pass the mantle to the next person. Some kind of way. That could be a great way to do it. Unfortunately, they can't do that with Black Panther, but they can do it with Blade. But this was just a lot of time wasted. But truth be told, it's probably a good thing because with the temperament of things and how Marvel has been doing things over the last amount of time, maybe it's a good thing that they didn't do this or that it didn't come to fruition during the time frame. And now they can, if they are trying to balance things out, I'll say, because I don't think everything that they did should be canceled. I just think they need to balance certain things. There were certain characters that they didn't need to bring in. Not all of them, but maybe a few. There were certain swaps that they did that didn't need to be done. Not all of them, but maybe a few. So hopefully they're balancing that out now, and that could be a pretty good thing going forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. And we have some more time for that. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a fun little trip. We had all of the, one second here, let me pull this. Yeah. So here's my question here, right? 1 second. Like I said, y'all, please bear with me. I'm going to get better at this as time goes on. But the one thing about me is that I like, as I grow and get better at this, like I'm new to this live stuff, so I grow and get better at it, you guys will see the improvement. I don't need to come out perfect at first. I would like to grow with my audience. So if you guys see this, bear with me. We're going to be good. But what we're going to do is I want to talk about these Doomsday trailers, right? As I brought up earlier, I'm going to just go to the whole little YouTube thing in general, right? So here's the thing. I have not been blown away by any of these trailers, to be honest with you. Not a one. There hasn't been one that I've been, overly boosted about. This one right here, the one with Cyclops, probably the best one for me. This is probably the best one right here, to be very honest with you. I didn't give a damn about Thor because, like I said, I am not a huge Thor fan. He's a cool character. I know what Thor represents and everything and who he is and what he's done, but that's just not my thing, right? The Steve Rogers one, yeah, that was cool to see. It was nice to see him, but it didn't sell me necessarily. It did because he's coming back and everybody loves Captain America, right? That's great. Steve Rogers, Captain America's coming back. That's great. He plays a role. But these trailers just haven't, but I'm going to give it time because I feel like they're going towards something. The Fantastic Four and Shuri or the Wakanda one, here's the thing about that. When I see Fantastic Four, it was cool. It was all right. Was it great to me? No. I liked the family building. There were certain things that I liked about it. Maybe I might even watch it again in the next couple of weeks, just to kind of bring myself back to it. But it wasn't the greatest thing. Whatever. So going forward, we know we're going to get a big trailer at the Super Bowl. What is the trailer at the Super Bowl going to be? Are we going to finally see Doom? Are we going to see more of the X-Men? Are they going to reveal to us who some of these new X-Men are? I think that would be cool. I think that would be great for them to do. Just hopefully that's what is going on because, they're selling us kind of right now on, some hopes and some dreams essentially, right? And I don't necessarily mean hopes. Just as far as like, hey, this is what's going to happen here. Maybe, they need to show us something. I know they're trying to build to that Doom reveal because you only got one time to reveal that the first time. And you're jumping right back into it. And pretty much they're building this building from the ground up, but they're starting with like the first 10 floors. They're doing Doom in the same movie, X-Men in the same movie, bringing Steve Rogers back, doing all this. We might even get our new Black Panther. They're doing a lot in one movie with Doomsday. They're doing a ton in one movie with Doomsday, and that's kind of scary. Like I said, Dr. Doom, X-Men, Steve Rogers, possibly Black Panther, more X-Men. Are we going to get a Storm? Are we going to get a Rogue? Are we going to get a, all this? It's just a lot they're doing. So I'm a little worrisome for this movie. I'm a little bit worrisome, and maybe that's why it is 3 hours and 45 minutes. So it may be needed. So and I get that and understand that. You know, hopefully they can pull it off. I personally just don't necessarily know, but I hope so. You know, we gonna see. We got little less than a year, so hopefully we have a great fourth quarter of 2026. Hopefully we get Grand Theft Auto and we get a great Avengers Doomsday movie, which will include the X-Men, or we can get disappointed like Moon because GTA might get pushed back and we might get a crappy ass Avengers movie. Who knows? Um, but you know what? That's gonna be my live for today. I'm definitely gonna jump in and do another live tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing these daily. I'm gonna get better at this, y'all. Just please bear with me. I'm gonna get better at it. Doing every day, if not every 2 days, y'all are gonna see me. And hey, look, I appreciate it. If you got anything you want to talk about, anything, I don't care what it is. If you want to debate me about, you guys know I love Superman. You know what I'm saying? Anything, questions, all that happening thing. Like I said, I have my James Gunn video coming. That'll probably be up by Sunday. I'm gonna give myself a day. It's not gonna be nothing super crazy, but it is. The topic is a little so, but that's what I'm gonna be doing. So hey, look, I'm Jay. Thank you for watching. Spinning the block on the Shillverse. And I'm gonna come up with a better title because that sucked. But look, help me grow. I appreciate everybody. Give me a like, comment, subscribe when you see us. Hey, see you soon.